What's up, y'all? It's your boy Zox just here. Bro, I'm gonna sleep at like 7:30, 8 p.m. Woke up at 3 a.m. Usually I wake up at like 5, 6 a.m. Man, I swear, like getting older, man, like I feel more back pain, I feel more random pain. I feel like more out of fit, out of shape, whatever it is. But I'm trying to push through, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to push through. But damn, bro. I miss going to sleep and just like waking up 12 hours later in deep sleep and having like immense dreams. You know what I'm saying? Immense dreams. Nowadays, but my dreams are very rare. Like the deep sleep that I have is very rare. It's like, it's okay. I'm not gonna take sleeping pills, whatever it is, but it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. Let's go to Reddit, check out what's going on. Twitch followers, because you visited this screen before. Yeah, I'm not doing sub for sub or whatever it is, but I did check it out. But this shit is very dangerous, bro. Like, there's a whole community dedicated to this shit, sub for sub, where like you can exchange subscribers with other people. You know what I mean? But it's apparently against the terms of service for YouTube. And I saw this and I was like, wow, these people are playing with fire. They should just grind it out. They should just really grind it out. It's the same thing with Twitch followers, and as you guys do know, Twitch is making a new change to their systems. It's like I think you need 3 viewers concurrently to reach affiliate on Twitch. That's a big thing, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, you know, nothing much really going on. Yeah, Reddit's pretty boring. I do have my own personal Reddit. Tried to make it, tried to, do things. Hard to get members, bro. It's very hard to get members. Very, very, very hard to get members. I am waiting for a service on Fiverr. Let me see if I can show you guys. I'm waiting for this dude named Dimitri to basically design me a banner, and it should be pretty much good to go. A banner with an anime character, paid like $100, $105, $103 Canadian. So hopefully, he's putting his time in and he's working on it. I believe in this guy though, he has 4.9 star reviews across 1,449 reviews. So this guy means serious work. And he gave me a discount. Because I'm a small YouTuber. I have like 13 subscribers on YouTube. But this dude's I expect greatness from this dude, bro. Like this dude has some immaculate work. And I think he's Russian, but he says he speaks English, Croatian, Russian, and Bulgarian. So that's 4 languages. Oh, he's from Serbia. He's from Serbia, and he speaks proper English. I spoke to him in the chat, and his previous work is pretty good. It's like if we can see here. I've seen his profile before. I'm trying to like zoom in on it so you guys can see it better. But I seen like this is what I'm talking about, bro. Like immaculate work. And you need, if you're starting YouTube, if you're starting Twitch, you're starting kick streaming, you're starting whatever it is, you need to get invested into your career. A banner like this, it cost me $100 for 3 banners right here, right? Premium. $100 plus a profile picture plus a custom drawn anime character. $100. This dude is serious work. If you want the link, let me know, bro. When people go to your profile, my shit is not set up yet. It's not set up yet. But when people go to your profile, what are they expecting? They're expecting professionalism. They're expecting your personality on top of that. You really gotta put yourself out there and say, you know what? I'm different from the rest. I'm not gonna just, get some random images off of Google or AI, whatever it is. I'm gonna pay for my artist. I'm gonna pay for my work. And it's a good thing to pay for your own artist and have a relationship with your artist, because you can come back to them later for future designs. You know what I'm saying? So this dude, the precedent is, bro, is like this, bro. He's gonna make me an anime character. And what I can do with that is I can eventually I can like contact them or whatever it is for the files. But I could put that anime character onto a T-shirt, onto merchandise, onto clothing. You know what I'm saying? So when you really want to do like streaming and stuff, you gotta have a bigger picture. So currently, bro, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm streaming off of a $300. Well, it was $250 webcam. Sorry, the Insta 360 webcam. Bro, I have no lights on in my crib, just the monitor, and this is the quality of the webcam. It's a 4K webcam. Very, very, very strongly recommended, bro. Invest in your setup, right? And then on top of that, for my YouTube videos, I have a $2,000 Sony A7 III camera with a lens and all that stuff. I use that. Audio wise, I forgot what this microphone is called, but it's about $2,000. And then my gaming computer, bro. My gaming computer is $8,000 Canadian. $8,000 Canadian, bro. So it's some real, real shit, bro. I'm dedicated to it. It is my first stream. But I wanted to show you guys that like I was a person when I was like, yo, I care about quality. I care about, what I'm presenting to the world. I care about my image, my brand. I'm gonna go all in on this shit. I bought a RTX 5090 gaming computer. I have these are old monitors, but I have a 240 hertz Asus monitor and 144 hertz BenQ monitor. Supreme brands, bro. Asus and BenQ for monitors. I've had no problems, no white lighting, no nothing, no stupid problems, whatever it is. I run them at 240 hertz. I run it at 144 hertz. Bro, it's immaculate. It's immaculate. And I'm telling you guys, if you buy a computer or if you're on a laptop, whatever it is, please try to have dual screen monitors. Try to have a dual screen monitor setup because, bro, it changes the game. When I'm streaming or when I'm watching streams, what I will do is I'll play games on my main monitor, and then on the monitor on the side, I'll have a stream up, I'll have a YouTube video up, I'll have whatever it is up. Now, of course, this is a bit distracting to your video games. You might not be the best player, but back then when I used to game, bro, and I'm 30 years old now, so I'm pretty old now. But back then when I used to game, and I used to be very, very good at games, bro, it'd be a piece of cake to me, bro. It'd be a piece of cake to me. You know what I'm saying? So uh, learn to multitask. Learn to get your brain active. Learn to have constant conversation running through your speakers, running through your mouse, running through your headphones. Sorry. Learn to have that constant conversation, because bro, I'm a firm believer. You have to use it before you lose it, and that's your mind. You want to get your mind stimulated. You want to get your mind going. Okay, because if you don't, bro, you can get diseases. You can get Alzheimer's. You can get all this crazy ass shit going on. You don't want that. You don't want none of that shit. Anyways, let's go to Twitch and let's see what's going on Twitch, bro. So, as we learned on Twitch, recently on Twitter, let me open up Twitter. We learned that Kick currently has 25% market share. 25% market share of the streaming community. Right? Let me see if I can pull up a tweet. Where is it? Where is it? This guy tweets a lot. Sorry, this is like yesterday's news. Hold on, let me find it. Okay, let me search this guy. Yeet, Kick. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. Kick market share. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So this guy's one of the owners of Kick. He said 3 years ago, Twitch banned my co-founder's account and slashed all creator revenue share. In response, we lost Kick streaming, which everyone laughed at and said we could never rival Twitch. Today, Kick reached 25% market share against Twitch for the first time. For the first time. Guys, I'm not joking. If you really want to monetize, you got to get into multi-streaming. I have a link for Streamlabs Pro. You know what I mean? I'm multi-streaming on multiple platforms right now. But bro, streaming is the future. It's a safe spot, and it's a good way to network and brand yourself across the world and the internet. As we know, we are going through an age revolution with artificial intelligence. You got to really, really understand. If we don't adapt to the current times, you will fall behind. Is your grandpa, your great grandpa, your great great grandpa, whatever it is, generations of wealth have been built and established for many people. Not everyone is like me coming off a first generation immigrant class, right? First generation immigrant family. Other people have generational wealth going for them. Bro, I'm telling you, if you're not ready for AI, you have to get ready for AI. And it's only gonna get easier and easier. It gets to a point, bro, where it's like, yo, okay, I might not be the most computer savvy, computer illiterate person in the world. But I will learn basic prompts. I will learn basic English. I will learn basic things and watching videos and educating myself along the way. As you can see right now on YouTube, they're having huge changes come up on July 15th. They're restricting monetization on YouTube artificial intelligence videos. And I'm not gonna lie, bro, that shit ruins my day sometimes, bro. I'm an educated person. I'm not here for like a little bit of laughs here and there, whatever it is. I wish they had a filter, where on like TikTok when I'm scrolling TikTok, whatever it is, where it says no artificial intelligence at all. I can just check that box and I'm good to go. This shit is getting ridiculous and absurd, bro. I scroll on TikTok and my TikTok algorithm is so disgusting, bro. It's disgusting, bro. I was scrolling on TikTok, and what did I see? All I see is people doing GoFundMe's and saying, "Oh, please donate to me. Please donate to my animal. Please donate to my sick father. Please donate to this." And I seen like 40 in a row, bro. 40 in a row, and I'm like, bro, this app is so shit. This app is so shit, bro. But it is the meta for a lot of streaming, as we can see. People like XQC come up, and they stream this stuff, and they have success. They have a lot of success with it, bro. But yeah, man, I just want to talk about Kick. 25% market share for against Twitch for the first time, bro. It's feeling nice. It's feeling mad nice. And I'm streaming on Kick. Make sure you guys give them a follow. They're small. They're pretty small. They're paying their creators fairly. They have a 95 to 5% split ratio on sub buttons, which is very good. I'm streaming on Trovo. I'm streaming on YouTube. I'm streaming on Twitter. I'm streaming on multiple episodes at the same time because what you want is exposure, bro. What you want is exposure. Now, you might not be the greatest at talking and thinking of yourself for the whole stream, whatever it is. You might have times where you don't know what to talk about during a stream. Of course, I'm by myself right now. I'm talking to myself basically during these streams. But you will adapt and you will learn how to get better and better and better and better. I've been streaming on and off. It's not my first account. I've had other accounts, but I've rebranded to Zoxius. I've been streaming on and off for about 10 years. 10 years, bro. Literally 10 years. I've been streaming since like 2015, 2013. I've been doing YouTube since like 2007, 2008. You know what I mean? When I was in grade 7. The account got banned, too much copyright. It's bullshit. I had like 800 subscribers in 2007. Just imagine what it could have been like if I didn't get banned, bro. Imagine. And I was uploading like gaming videos. I was uploading reviews. I was uploading campaign walkthroughs on video games. Ridiculous stuff, bro. Ridiculous stuff. But anyways, let's scroll through Twitter and let's see what's popping, bro. And hopefully we don't see anything stupid on Twitter. Alright. Neuroscience discovery. We're all one consciousness pretending to be separate. Yeah, we could watch this. We have time.
Takes the strongest psychedelic known. So what happens when one of the world's top neuroscientists takes the strongest psychedelic known to humanity? And after decades of studying how consciousness comes from only the brain, this is how one 10-minute psychedelic trip changed everything. World-renowned scientist Dr. Christoph Koch is known for developing models of consciousness and how that integrates with reality. And so, when he inhaled 5-MeO-DMT, the strongest known psychedelic on the planet, his entire worldview on consciousness shattered. He says during the trip that there was no concept of space, time, memory, or even himself.
Bro, I did mushroom one time. So I did mushrooms. I was talking about I like it's a different experience for everyone. But when I did mushrooms, right, I was just like in a park. I did mushrooms. I saw ants on the floor, and I started talking to the ants and talking about diplomacy for ants. And I was like, yeah, I wonder if ants have like some super crazy like societal um, fringe or whatever it's called, where they vote and they have democracy in their colonies. I wonder if they really like the movie called Buzz Life. I was wondering if it was really like that. You know what I'm saying? When we look at bugs and stuff on the floor, we don't really see all this stuff, and we don't think about, oh, are these like conscious creatures? Are they really voting and doing democracy and talking and being scholars and all this stuff? We don't see that a lot. But as we progress in society, as we learn about consciousness, we could see those things, bro. We could see those things. Now, obviously, it's a bit awkward when a bug is conscious and and develops feelings and stuff like that. I don't really want. I don't. I'm not a big killer of things that are consciousness. I'm not a big killer at all, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? The art of packaging meat, the art of things already being killed for me, and then I eat it after it's packaged. I like that. I like that. I really do. I see slaughterhouse videos one time, bro. I seen videos on YouTube about the slaughterhouse and all this stuff, and I'm just like, no, bro. I don't like that stuff, bro. I don't like watching animals start dying and all this shit, bro. I don't like that shit. It's an unfortunate truth of the world, and I'm pretty sure many people feel the same way as me, where they don't like that shit. They don't like that stuff. Yeah.
And that there was just unbearable light full of terror and ecstasy, where he says he became the universe. And this connects back to his concept called the integrated information theory, basically saying how consciousness does not only come from the brain, but comes from how connected we are. So the example is, imagine if you're in a group chat where everyone is talking, it's very chaotic, and no one is listening. So that's what we call low connection, versus high connection, which is when everyone is deeply listening and responding to each other. So the more your brain is connected to a system, the more conscious it is. So in the integrated information theory, if two systems, you and the universe, become more connected, you just don't stay separate. You merge and become one consciousness. Key takeaway here is Dr. Christoph says that consciousness is reality experiencing itself.
Yeah, we could see that. Oh, we have Ice Poseidon here.
I hate him. I hate Hassan. I think he's the fakest dude I've ever seen. He's the fakest content creator. I just, it's disgusting. Like, he is so, like he's he pretends to be a socialist.
Yeah, I'll never understand Hassan Abi. Like he does great work sometimes for political agendas, political activism. But this dude, literally, bro, like talks about being for the people and shit. But I don't really see it, bro. I see him being so snarky, and he loves money. He loves capitalism. He loves his ad revenue on Twitch. He loves his contracts. He loves his deals. He went to a phase party. Someone asked him, he's like, can you, how much would I pay you? How much would I have to pay you to jump into a pool, right? And Hassan said, "Nah, I make too much money. I make the most money in this whole area. I don't need to do that." And I was just looking at that, and I'm like, damn, bro, this guy is so out of touch with reality. But money is like his number one priority in his life. I don't believe in that firmly. I believe that God is my number one priority in life, then family, then life, then money. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of problems for Hassan in the future, bro. I see a lot of problems for him in the future. He is not with the times, bro. He's not with the times. And recently, it's weird. They made Times 100 top creators. It's a magazine, Times magazine, and he's on there as a leader. And I was just shaking my fucking head. I'm like, bro, this dude literally does interviews with people who are from the Houthis, which is a terrorist group, and he supports them. And because of his liberal agenda, because of um, his stance on things, he gets accepted. He's like, it's like this, right? Like, he's 99% okay as a liberal, but that 1% is just disgusting. It's disgusting. And this is the same dude that said America deserved 9/11. So keep that in mind.
But he's so far capitalist, it's crazy. He is just profiting off the back ends of his manipulated audience who are in desperate situations in their real life. Obviously, his audience must be like super poor and desperate or something, because they want socialism.
Socialism doesn't mean you die when you are no longer a productive worker, okay? Every single one of these companies have blood on their hands. Kick is a little bit more direct. No, there is no amount of money that would make me move to Kick. Stop asking me why. I already told you. You don't even care about the actual answer.
I hate him. I hate Hassan.
Yeah, bro. It's just weird shit, bro. It's just weird shit.
In the chat one time, that's all we want to see. Titan Hollow. 3, 2.
Oh my God.
1. Freak that bitch! Oh my! Titan Hollow! Titan Hollow! And there goes! Come back!
That's good, Tim.
Is this actually okay? Is it really good?
Very okay. Tim, that's like, what, 20K?
What?
Yes,
Literally?
What? Literally money back. Yes.
Don't do that to me, Oni. Don't do that to me.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I have one.
Are you serious?
Bro, being a streamer is so fucking crazy. So Tim the Tatman, Nate Shot, and all these people, like 4 of them, they got gifted each $60,000 worth of CSGO cases and boxes and stickers, whatever, loot boxes. And they started opening them on stream. That's a fucking crazy gift, bro. There's so much money in the world that it makes you think about shit, right? And there's so many people that are like multi-millionaires and billionaires, whatever it is. It's fucking crazy, bro. It's fucking crazy. Right, we go to Grok and we can search it in, right? How many millionaires are there in the world? About 58 to 70 million millionaires in the world, bro. And United States has about 22 to 24 million of them. China has about 6 million of them. It's fucking insane to me, bro. And you know the thing about streaming and shit is that, like, Tim the Tatman, like, we were just watching that stream, right? Tim the Tatman got gifted $60,000 worth of stuff, and other people too. Like, in total, it's about $360,000 worth of gifts, whatever it was. And I'm telling you guys, bro, I'm like, you never know who's watching. You never know who's a fan of yours. It could be a celebrity watching one day. It could be a multimillionaire or even a billionaire. It could be Jeff Bezos. It could be Bill Gates. It could be any one of these people. And these people, once they learn about you, once they fuck with you, once they like you, they can gift you. They can help you out. They can support you. And they can make you go on private jets and stuff and fly places, right? So recently, I can search it up here. Let me open up a new tab. There was Aiden Ross jet video. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, right here. So Drake sent a private jet for Aiden Ross and his streamer boys to hit wireless in London. Aiden ain't lying, that jet looks like a commercial airplane. Holy shit.
They're trying to make sure that monkey clean.
Oh, Joel, this is the biggest jet I've ever been on my life.
Nah, we gotta call Drake.
This is the biggest, yo, this is a commercial plane. What the fuck?
Let me call him.
That's a big ass jet.
When we get on there, hell yeah.
What the fuck?
That motherfucker stupid, twin.
What the fuck, Chad?
Chad, look, show Chad, bro.
You
This ain't just about.
you gotta get the whole, bro, that is.
It looks like it can seat like 20 to 30 people, so it's a gigantic jet still. Like the smaller jets that people take everywhere is like 6 to 8 people hosting. This is like 20 to 30 people still.
Good. What's up, bro?
Bro, how are you?
I'm good, bro. You, bro.
I'm good, bro.
I thought you left, bro.
How's the day, bro?
It's amazing, bro.
You want me to ask him? Hey, sir. Sir, where would you like her to sit at? On the front of the plane or back here?
Wherever she wants. Wherever she wants.
She don't got to even out nowhere?
You're good. You're
Is there a special restroom?
There's the one in the front and the one in the back.
Okay.
That one's.
We might need to conjoin them bitches, cause her.
What?
Okay.
Yeah, we doing cookies. I'm gonna do it with Ben. But Ben, when
That shit's fucking crazy, bro. And you know, people said that Drake was gonna fall off. Bro, in my opinion, Drake's never gonna fall off. He's cemented as an artist. And that UMG lawsuit that he has going on, like if it breaks through and he gets paid a shit ton of money, Kendrick Lamar's gonna take one of the biggest L's ever, and he might get dropped. He might get dropped from his record label, bro. Because he's such a cost of business towards the record label. Before I used to support Kendrick Lamar, you know, on Good Kid, Mad City, and all that shit, but it's just not there, bro. It's just not fucking there. All right, we'll go back to Twitter. This is crazy. So this was the Japanese tsunami that happened a long time ago. And there's still people driving, bro. You see that shit? There's just 2 cars all the way over here still driving. They're still driving over here, bro. I'm so thankful that I live in a big building because it's like, yo, if anything ever happens, like a flood or a tornado or whatever it is, I live in a concrete building, bro. It's gonna take a lot of work and a lot of strength for it to even reach me. You know what I'm saying? The Texas floods happened recently. They're all like little houses and shit. Yeah, bro, there's not a lot of foundational support, and those houses are so cheap because they're not built strong enough. In Canada, bro, our houses are going for like $1 million, $1.5 million, but there's a lot of insulation, there's a lot of work, there's a lot of this, a lot of that. The land is important, a lot of property taxes, but you know the houses are built properly, bro. They're built properly. See some of these houses in America, bro. It's like it's just wood. It's just wood, bro. Barely any concrete, barely any bricks. It's just wood. And then you see the floods coming and they take the house, it falls down and all that shit. It's ridiculous out here, bro. Personally speaking, if I was in America, I'd build my own house and I make it, you know, concrete. You know what I'm saying? Madness. And you know what's crazy? Japan had a huge disaster happen and they bounced back economically. They bounced back economically, bro. Like other countries in the world, they're not even ready for this type of shit, bro. They're not even ready for this type of shit. Other countries in the world, but it's such a problem now. You have people in LA, insurance companies in LA, Los Angeles. They're like, oh, we can't do this shit no more. We're gonna pack up our bags and we're gonna leave. And this happened with State Farm. This happened with during the wildfires in Los Angeles. Bro, so many insurance companies are leaving, and it's like, bro, okay, you know, I don't like it gets to a point where you build a house and you buy a house, whatever it is, and you might not have any insurance or the insurance prices are ridiculously high. It gets to a point where you start thinking about shit and it's like, yo, it's not even worth it to buy a house anymore. Because you might lose all your liabilities, all your assets, all your income, your life savings in that house if it goes down and you have no insurance or claim gets rejected. You might lose everything. You have to start all over again, right? And personally speaking, bro, I personally think that as we move forward in time with the uncertainty of global warming, you can believe in global warming, you can't believe in global warming, it's up to you. I personally believe that during these times, during these hard times where we're having, bro, in Canada, it was like 45 degrees Celsius, feeling like 45 degrees Celsius like 2 weeks ago, like 1 week ago. It was ridiculously hot, ridiculously hot. And some people were, and like, it gets to a point where people are going to start dying in their sleep because their circadian rhythms can't handle the balancing of body temperature inside their body. So it gets to a point where it's like, I need to have AC in my crib. I need to have it properly ventilated. I need to have it made sure that it's not anywhere near a flood zone or any riverbanks, whatever it is. I need to make sure that it's highly elevated on the ground. I live in an uphill neighborhood type of thing where it's like the water level can't. If there's a huge amount of rain, the water level will flood downwards, not upwards towards me, right? So like when you buy a crib, and as we go forward into this stuff, you have to really start thinking about this stuff and be like, yo, okay, there's no threat to natural disasters in my area. I live in Ontario, Toronto. No threats of disasters, no flood proof around where I live. I live in North York, Toronto. So it's pretty much good to go. We live in a highly elevated area. It's about 300 and like 500 meters elevated to the top, um, where we're not gonna get flooded anytime soon, and that's a beautiful thing of mine, bro. That's a beautiful thing of mine. We'll keep going. The CEO of Rainmaker, the cloud seeding company modifying the weather in Texas, explains how they spray an agent into our air. Using only 3 drones, spraying only 1 pound of this agent causes 40 million pounds of water to fall. You disperse the material so every pound that you put up, you get an excess of 40 million pounds down on the ground, 40 million pounds of water.
We've built are the only ones in NATO that are under 55 pounds that can survive in severe icing conditions. This is really cold water, right? So we have these resistors inlaid onto the vehicle that melt the ice off as it accretes onto the drone. So you find the water with the radar, you fly your drone up into these conditions, hope that it survives. You disperse the material. So we have this aerosol dispersion system that basically just emits individual particles that the water freezes onto. And then with the same radar you found the water with, you can now see it freezing, growing into bigger snowflakes, and then eventually bigger drops, and measure how much precipitates downwind.
So you're essentially introducing some type of an agent that has weight to it, and that's pulling the water down.
You're introducing an agent that the water freezes onto, and then it's just the weight of the water that pulls it down. So for every pound of this that you put up, you get in excess of 40 million pounds down on the ground. 40 million pounds of water.
40 million. Wow.
Yeah.
How many drones does it take to do this?
Like 3.
That's it?
So what we do is we juggle them. So one drone will go up. Once that reaches altitude, the next drone will go up. The first drone, after dispersing its full payload, will come down. And you'll just cycle that as long as the conditions persist. So sometimes that means, you're out there for 2 hours. Our forward operations specialists, though, it's a lot of former vets.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. So a long time ago, and this was with cloud seeding, right? Dubai floods. I'm not sure if there's still videos up here. I gotta open up a new tab. Sorry. I'm not sure, but like these guys are doing cloud seeding, and they really fucked up. They really fucked up the city. This was a while ago. Yeah. So this is the type of videos, right? So this was confirmed from cloud seeding. They fucked up and they flooded their whole city. We're talking hundreds of billions of dollars worth of damages and insurance and shit. If I was an insurance company, I'd be fucking pissed and I would sue the fuck out of the government. This shit's fucking ridiculous, bro. This happened almost a year ago, right? A year ago. And we see these floods and shit a year ago. Ridiculousness, bro. In Dubai, in the Middle East, floods like this is unheard of. Unheard of, bro. Unheard of. I don't even know how many people died during those floods, but it's unheard of, bro. It's just the ridiculousness of the situation that keeps escalating to other levels where it's like humans keep trying to play God. And I understand like cloud seeding to an extent could be beneficial for the country, beneficial for agriculture, beneficial for many things. But it's like, bro, then like they gotta test it somewhere else, bro, where there's no people there. They gotta test it in like Russia where there's like no people in like certain parts of the country, and they gotta say, okay, you know what, we need this amount, and do current studies and shit, and then go forward with it. These dudes out here experimenting in the city, and they cause hundreds of billions of dollars of damages, bro. And that's just from what we know, right? I'm not gonna go into conspiracies and say that the Japanese tsunami was caused by weather floods and all this shit too. I'm not gonna say that shit too because we do have technology. We do have the technology that can cause earthquakes. We do have the technology. Don't discount it, bro. Don't discount it. I'm not gonna watch this video. Incline. Therapist breaks down how he believes Sneeko thinks.
That's what's so interesting. So here's my experience of this conversation. So you say things in ways that are very polemic. So like polar. So you say things in a way that invites me to argue with you and try to prove you wrong.
Yeah.
Like just the statements that you make. And I can see why people are like inflamed by that. And if I don't try really hard to catch myself, then I will start arguing with you.
Right.
Why are you smiling right now?
Because you're right. Because you're completely right. That's just my way. People tell me that quite a bit. I have like a argumentative style of speaking.
That's not the question that I asked. I asked, why are you smiling?
I'm smiling because you're right.
So what is the correlation with me being right and you smiling?
That in 20 minutes you picked up on what my friends and family have been saying for years.
Okay. And when I pick up on something that your friends and family have been saying for years, so that's just like a fact, right? Like I picked up on it.
Yes.
But you have a reaction to that, which is that you're smiling.
Right.
So that reaction comes with an emotion.
Yes.
That's what the reaction is.
Yes.
What's the emotion?
The emotion, I think I get like a dopamine hit from, I like...
Dopamine's not an emotion.
What's up?
Wow, this dude's... I had a lot of respect for Sneeko growing up, bro. He made crazy videos before his radicalization and his like impulsive moves to like try to be controversial and go viral and shit. Because I know it pays the bills. But like before all that shit, when he was making good YouTube money, bro, I really respected this guy. I loved reacting to his videos. I loved watching his videos. This dude's fall off has to be studied, bro. It has to be studied, bro. And I think what really hit him was when he got cucked by his girlfriend. Bro, this dude's so fucking dumb, bro. Basically, this dude, Sneeko, the guy on the right, this dude basically, he got convinced by his girl to go to an orgy, and he watched his girl get pounded by another guy, sex-wise. And it broke him. It broke him who he was. He got cucked right in front of everyone. It broke him who he was, and dude's basically fucked. He's basically fucked mentally, bro. It's like PTSD type shit, bro. Psychologically fucked.
So what's the emotion?
Laughter.
Laughter's and I'm not trying to make you sound stupid here, but laughter's not an action. So let's think about it. What's the emotion?
Joy?
Laughter's the expression. Yeah.
Okay.
Right? So like...
This guy said laughter's an emotion. Holy fuck, bro. It's ridiculous out here. Hello, do you want to react to some Italian mafia music video? Yeah, bro. Post a link in the chat, bro. Put that link in the chat. We can watch it. But I don't know any Italian. But we got time, bro. We got time. But I'm not gonna guarantee that I'll listen to everything. You know what I'm saying? But just put a title of the video, and we can see what it's about. I make music sometimes too, bro. So I know how it is, but not all music is great. My music wasn't great. A lot of people don't like my music, but it's fun to experience it and it's fun to say it out. And congrats and welcome to the stream, Gazo. Thanks for the follow, bro. Italy's a nice place, bro. I'm glad your president, that girl president that you guys have is really good. She's a really good person. Most people need to understand this. Mass deportations unironically solve every single problem in society without the fall and without exception. Mass deportations are a magic wand that makes the impossible thing just appear. Okay.
Mass deportations unironically solve every single problem in society without fail and without exception. It is actually the case that if you just begin to deport people and do that at scale, society gets better with no downsides. Like from a sociological perspective, mass deportations are a magic wand that make the impossible things just appear. Whenever you deport an undocumented family, that's the equivalent of just making a home appear out of thin air. No other policy can do that. Whenever you deport an undocumented family, that's like magically expanding the roads, magically building more hospitals, magically freeing up more hospital spaces, magically making more school places appear out of thin air with no downsides. Like millennials come in here and be like, oh, I'll never own a home. Because I'll never own a home, I'll never start a family. We can make like 15 million homes appear out of thin air. In about
I think it's a bigger problem, bro. To be honest, bro, I be in Toronto trying to get on these dating apps, trying to get love out here, and trying to get girls out here. I'm getting no matches, bro. And the matches I do get, but they're very low quality matches. The girls, like they want they're like gold digger girls, or like, they want clout and they want all this next level shit, bro. I changed my bio around a few times. I was like, yo, I'm a millionaire. I tried it one time. I got a few matches. I told them, you know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm retired. Technically, I am retired. I don't have disability, but it's like, bro, I had to play around with the algorithm because, bro, at a certain point, it was like 2 months of me swiping every fucking day, and I had no matches, bro. No matches on Tinder. And that shit was breaking me apart, bro. That shit was breaking me apart. And I was like, bro, why the fuck is there no matches on this shit? Why the fuck is there no love coming my way? I'm not even that bad looking, you know what I'm saying? And I speak proper English. I speak proper, you know, proper English, whatever it is. It was just breaking my heart, bro. It was breaking my heart. And to an extent, bro, I was just like, you know what? Maybe love's not for me in this generation, bro. And maybe I'm one of those dudes, bro, where it's like, you know, maybe my aesthetic, I'm a bit obese, I'm overweight, you know what it is what it is. I weigh about 300 pounds. But I'm able to walk and do activity and push ups and shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm a bit tall, 5'11". But it's like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm not meant to find love in this life anytime soon. Maybe I'm not meant to find love anytime soon in this life. And it's one of those heartbreaking things I have to come to terms with. And it's like, you know what? If no one really likes me, girls wise, you know what I'm saying? Because guys love me, no homo, but guys love me, you know what I'm saying? Girls wise though, it's like, you know, I used to have a lot of love when I was in university. I used to get matches, and in university I used to get looks by girls all the time. But the weight I've gained, maybe that's a set off point. You know what I'm saying? I'm not out here catfishing and shit, picture wise, you know what I'm saying? But maybe that's the set off point. And it's like, you know, there's only so much you can do, bro. I tried to get professional photos taken. Didn't come through, but my iPhone is doing pretty good photos, you know what I'm saying? It's not feeling nice, bro. It's not feeling nice. And the thing about Toronto, bro, is like these girls are so fucking beautiful. There's so much immigration in Toronto. So many immigrants in Toronto. And these girls are like mixed, racially mixed and all that stuff. And they're like beautiful from all over the world and shit. It's rare. It's rare to find true love in Toronto, bro. Breaks my fucking heart, bro. And to be honest, bro, I might be one of those people that just live with their moms until like I die. You know what I'm saying? The expectancy for me to live, bro, is I'm aiming for like 60 years old. 60 years old max, bro.
a month if we really wanted to. Like, do you think the magic deportation fairy godmother...
And I also don't understand this. So recently in LA, bro, right? So the Los Angeles, California, I'm not gonna show the video because it might be TOS, but recently in Los Angeles there was a raid, right? So there was a raid that happened in Los Angeles. LA ICE.
Marijuana farm in California, and listen to how the fake media describes someone who shot at ICE. This is crazy.
Take a look at this video right here. It appears a...
So these are undocumented immigrants, and it's a wild situation in California, but these dudes think they have more rights than the actual citizens. They're not paying taxes. They're not doing a lot of great things, whatever it is. And it's like, bro, you have an undocumented migrant shooting at federal agents and ICE, you know, immigration police officers, and it's like, bro, this shit is reaching new levels, bro. And personally speaking, bro, if I seen this shit, I would use lethal force. I'd say, fuck it, bro. You're gonna shoot at me, I'm gonna shoot back at you, bro. This is fucking insane, but you gotta also understand that a lot of these neighborhoods are full of gang members. They're full of MS-13. They're full of like a lot of like Spanish gangs and cartels and all that shit. It gets wild over there in Los Angeles, bro. And the mayor, and this is what I don't understand, the mayor sees this type of shit. The mayor sees that, like, you can literally see it on screen. There's a guy with a gun shooting back, alright? And it's like, bro, the mayor of Los Angeles sees this shit, and she's like, no, we have to protect them, we have to protect them, we have to protect them. And I'm just like, bro, this shit's fucking insane to me.
Some kind of gun at federal agents. This happened this afternoon. It was a really
shot multiple
chaotic scene at the
times.
time. A lot of smoke was being launched at the protesters, and again, it appears a protester fired back with that weapon. It looks like he fired at least a couple of times. We have not heard about any agents being hurt.
Dude, I walked into an open Capitol on January 6th and was smeared as a domestic terrorist, even though I was nonviolent, didn't hurt anybody, and literally walked through the doors of cops waving me in, and I was called a domestic terrorist along with many other people that just walked into the Capitol on January 6th. These people are literally calling this guy a protester still and saying that he shot some kind of gun. Man, you really do not hate the media enough. So ICE is currently raiding a marijuana...
Yeah, I agree with the video, bro. I agree with the video. You know what's crazy, bro? I'm not gonna lie. I seen Mitch Jones recently, and he was doing a gambling stream, and I was like, bro, this shit is like, it's just like fun work, and it's like, I'm not an advocate of gambling that much, but I'm like, bro, it's just fun work to see this dude gambling and giving out money on his streams. I tried to enter his giveaways a few times, like 6 times, but I never won. I'm just like, bro, this guy, like, he's helping, he's feeding his community, he's feeding his family, and I'm just sitting there like, bro, what a fucking life hack. This guy really won at life. I'm a recruiter, so I do a ton of phone interviews. Something I noticed about Gen Z specifically is that a lot of them answer the phone and don't say anything. Like, I can hear them breathing in the background noise, but they wait to see for you to say hello first. Okay. Oh, the Epstein files is fucking crazy, bro. Well, I don't know if we're gonna talk about all that shit, but it's insane to me that the FBI director, Kash Patel, is possibly gonna resign. It's like if Bondi stays, which is like the attorney general, the one that speaks for Donald Trump a lot or whatever it is. I don't know much about American politics, but it's like these guys are threatening to resign if they don't release the Epstein files. If they don't release the Epstein files, that shit is insane to me, bro. And a few days ago, they were saying that there is no Epstein client list, but these guys want the Epstein files, period, to be released. This shit is fucking insane to me. This shit is insane to me. Like, these guys are threatening to resign, and these guys are in high authority, high levels of power. FBI top people, executives, and they're threatening to resign over this shit, bro. And I'm sitting here like, damn, this shit's disgusting, bro. This shit's disgusting. Serena Williams' body transformation is going viral. Now she's an average skinny girl. Wow. That's a lot of weight. Good for her. I give it a like. Objectively, the best mouse, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I use a mouse similar to this. It's the Death Adder, I believe. Bro, I put my push to talk button on Counter-Strike and stuff to like this button over here. It's called mouse 4. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful immersion. There's something surreal or ethereal about this innocent, cute kind of beauty. Hiking vlog cave edition. Hiking stairway to heaven. 3.3 million views. Okay, we can search it up. Kayani. Hiking vlog cave edition. $3.8 million views.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. Unless you're new, then welcome. Today is going to be a wonderful day because I'm going on a hike, and it's one of my favorite hikes. And I kind of say that about every hike but I just like hiking, okay? And anyway, really excited for this one.
She's alright. I give her like
Right on the ocean, so
an 8 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10.
there's the ocean.
One thing I've really noticed about girls, bro, is like they have to have the voice that matches up with them, bro. Cause like, bro, if I'm gonna be dating you, if I'm gonna be with you, whatever it is, your voice has to be like adequate enough for me to hear it all the time. Because I am a conversationalist, and it's like, bro, you need to talk. You need to talk to me. If we're gonna fall in love, whatever it is, you need to have a nice voice. Voice wise, it's a normal voice, bro. Nothing great.
Yeah. Alright, well, that's enough introduction. Let's start hiking. Oh.
Face was like 7.5. But she is hiking, she's not completely glammed up.
We're making our way.
This is into Asa's video. My brother was talking about going on a hike recently. Possibly in August, whatever it was, when the weather gets cooler. And I said it's not a bad idea, you know what I'm saying? But I don't want to put too much strain on my body during like super hot times, bro. Super hot times. And you know what's crazy, bro? So like the transition from like spring to summer and like this year in Canada, bro, we were having snowfall in spring. We were having a large amount of snowfall in spring. It was disgusting weather, bro. And like I was just thinking about it, I'm like, bro, winter, like summer might get delayed a lot, or we might have extremes, right? We might have extremes on both sides of like extreme cold and extreme heat, and that's what we had. We had extreme cold, and then we had extreme heat following after that. And I was like, bro, we had days where it was 20 degrees Celsius, and then it fell down to minus 15 degrees, minus 15 degrees Celsius, and I was like, bro, this is just fucking insane to me. 6:37, that made my heart melt. A smile.
Alright, well, that was the hike. Back to civilization, unfortunately. And, the ocean calls my name. No, but actually, like I'm probably gonna go to the beach. I might bring.
Look at all these guys that are just in love with this girl. Her smile melts me every single time. Her smile, her smile, her smile. The cute giggle of the camera woman is too adorable. Oh man, people are just watching this girl just because of how she looks, bro. I don't know about that much, but this dude commented she looks like she's transsexual. Holy fuck. Just because a girl has a jaw doesn't mean she is trans. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna get into trans debate or trans whatever, but it can be scary out here, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I've seen some trans girls, and I'm like, bro, some of these girls like better than other average girls. I'm like, I'm never gonna fall for it, bro. I'm never gonna fall for it, bro. I'm a straight male, bro. I'm not gonna get attracted to that shit, bro. You can look better, but I'm not gonna be attracted to that shit, bro. That's hard. Yo, listen to that. That's hard. Hard. I'll retweet that. But I can't wait to be so famous one day. Where I get posted on like Fearbuck and Yeet, bro. That's just gonna be fucking crazy to me, bro. Seeing myself on my timeline, I'm like, yes, bro, finally. You know what I'm saying? Won an eBay auction 90% under what it was worth, and a person just deleted their account. Whatever, at least I ruined one reseller's account for $40. Damn, you can do that? 1,300 employees fired today in the State Department. Recently fired bureaucrats cleaning house. Japan built a device that bottles sunlight and beams it into your living room. Why settle for lamps when your ceiling can channel the actual sun?
Introducing the Japanese-engineered solar light collector, a revolutionary rooftop innovation that harnesses the power of sunlight, amplifying it into a radiant indoor oasis. This cutting-edge technology employs high-tech lenses and mirrors to maximize light intake, capturing and concentrating sunlight throughout the day, before channeling it seamlessly into your home through advanced optic fiber cables. By harnessing the sun's energy, this remarkable system reduces reliance on artificial lighting, boosting mood, energy, and overall well-being, while also increasing property value and providing a unique eco-friendly feature that sets your home apart, making it a game-changing solution for those seeking to illuminate their lives with pure, natural light. Introducing
It's not bad. Bro, I'm not gonna lie. There's some crazy inventions coming up in the year 2025. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I wish I could have been an inventor. I wish I could have the money. I wish I had like the disposable income to just buy random shit and make whatever I want. I would have went into engineering if I had a crazy amount of money. Cause it's like, bro, once you make like a crazy invention and then you license it and like, you can make so much fucking money out of it, bro. So much money out of it. There's recently an invention by a guy in America who's able to turn plastic into diesel, right? And it's like, bro, like there's so much plastic waste in the world that's such a huge thing. It'll help out so much, bro. It'll help out so much. And then we have other technology. A video I recently seen. You can probably Google. I'm not gonna watch right now, but it's like it captures. It's on. You put it on your roof of a building, whatever it was, and it captures carbon dioxide and hydrogen, and uses a lot of electricity, but it makes it into gasoline. Right. So there's a lot of technological booms coming out. Capitalism is really working over here, and we really need these scientific inventions to come out. Because I'm not gonna lie, bro. I don't want to drive an electric vehicle. I like gasoline. I feel more safe with gasoline. It just feels nicer and more casual to me. But it's like, bro, I live in Canada, and sometimes we have harsh winters where the weather's like minus 30 degrees or minus 25 degrees. And it's like, bro, electrical cars, they don't really get that much efficiency during the cold winters. And they're trying to make electric vehicles only in Canada by the year like 2035 or something. And I was like, bro, these guys gotta settle down with that shit, bro. We don't even know what the future of technology is gonna look like. In 10 years, everything could change. 10 years, bro, we could still have gasoline and electric vehicles and hybrids. And I'm not gonna lie, what I would personally do is I would get a hybrid. I would get a hybrid vehicle. I feel more comfortable with that. It is what it is. But every day this guy posts anti-Islamic phobic stuff. It's an interesting video sometimes, but I'm not gonna lie, I can't speak too much on this, but this does not look right. When you have to fully cover up yourself because you're insecure about men, or you feel unsafe against men's gaze or whatever it was, this doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel right. It feels like we need to go back into society and fix this up. I'm not with burqas. I'm not with burqas at all. I genuinely think they pulled the greatest scam in history. We've never seen something like this before. Hawk Tula, aka Haley Wells, sold her X account allegedly. Yes, he made a bunch of fucking money, bro. Imagine selling a social media account for $300,000+. Insane. Insane, bro. Insane to me. And we're not gonna watch this video. I've never seen a video of a male police officer hysterically crying like this, just saying. Yeah, this woman officer got beat up. I'm not gonna watch this as graphic footage, but I seen the video off stream. She was beat up by two Pakistani guys, two Muslim guys. It's just reckless behavior, bro. No respect for the cops, whatever it is, but it's normal criminal activities. We can't blame them on like religious purposes. We can't blame it on this. We can't blame it on that. It's just like, I don't even know if it's the hood or whatever it was, but it's reckless to punch someone, and then it's even more reckless to punch a girl. But what's more distressing to me, they don't have a preview on this video. I don't know why. But what's more distressing to me is the fact that there's so many bystanders, and they didn't help the officer. If I seen it happen, I would jump at the action right away and I'd help the officer right away.
If you wasn't invited, don't ask.
If you wasn't invited, man, don't ask to go.
If you wasn't invited, don't ask to go. And don't accept invites that's in the air.
They didn't invite you. Why you asking if you can come?
Let's say 3 people over here talking and you over here. And they over there making plans, going to the bowling alley, top golf, whatever. And they over there talking and you just so happen to hear the plans being made.
Oh, can they come? You can come if you want. Is that the answer you wanted?
Do not, if they see you, you know what I'm saying? If they don't invite you directly, don't do it.
They don't want you to be there, bro. Have some respect for yourself.
Remember what Duke said it didn't say, bro.
Right. If you wasn't invited, don't ask to go.
If you wasn't,
I can agree with the sentiment a little bit, but I think they're overthinking it a bit, bro. It's like when people make plans, it's not about like, you know, secluding you and isolating you out of the group, whatever it was. But sometimes, bro, 3 people is enough of a flex. I'm a person with a social battery, and it's like, you know what? I don't want to hang out with 10 people, 12 people, 15 people. Sometimes I want to make plans by myself or with 2 other people, and that's good to go. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. It's different for everyone, but some people overthink it, and then they start saying, oh, you're a fake friend, you didn't invite me. And I'm just sitting here like, no, bro, I have a small social battery, bro. I don't want to go to that shit, you know what I'm saying? It's one of those things also, it's like recently I got invited to an event by my friend. It was yesterday. I didn't want to go, bro. I'm working on my streaming career, you know what I'm saying? I'm planning to do like a huge, like 8-hour, 10-hour stream. And hopefully we get enough viewers and enough people watching to fuck with me, you know what I'm saying? We got our first follower on Kick, Gaza435. Thank you so much, bro. Appreciate you. NASA releases close images of the sun. Close images to the sun. Candace tries to push back against Nick concerning race differences and IQ. Oh, shit.
So you don't think that there's group differences on average between the races?
I think, just to be clear, I think there would be group differences if you took, like we were talking about, an American versus somebody who graduates college in Europe. There'd be tremendous differences.
Not tremendous, but yeah, there would be slight differences,
yeah.
but you don't
So
think
I
that
think
racially there's differences between races?
I think, yeah, because we have huge differences culturally. So going to your point of saying, I don't want to live in a black neighborhood, well, neither does LeBron James when he gets money, right?
Right.
And there's a reason for that,
Mhm.
because there is something that's happening culturally in Black America that's been going on for a very long time. But that thing, I would argue, didn't exist in.
What about in Africa and Haiti? I mean, they're killing and eating each other in Africa and Haiti. Everywhere where they are, you have these problems.
Yeah, I'd like to look into, and I'm pleading ignorant, but I've heard some things about what happened in Haiti and what the Clinton Foundation did there. So I think I'd have to look more into the history of Haiti to be able to push back on that at all. I don't think I agree with that.
What about all of Africa then? There's not one country in sub-Saharan Africa that's successful. Not one. They're all least developed countries. They're all failed states.
This kind of reminds me, and we could kind of flesh out this conversation together, and I'm not perhaps ready to have it fully, but I do remember going back to Dave Smith where he was conceding a point on, well, all of these other Middle Eastern countries, no, you wouldn't want to live there. You'd want to live in Israel. In my mind, I'm going, well, because you just keep bombing the crap out of them if they ever try to get ahead. I remember watching this clip of him saying that, going, why don't these countries get ahead? And kind of going back in my mind to the Gaddafi speech where he was speaking essentially about, here's what we got to do in Libya to get ahead. Here's what we're going to do with the dollar, and we're going to be progressive and this and that. And they killed him. And then what happened to those Libyan refugees?
That's true, bro. That's true. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I heard a lot about Gaddafi. He did go down as an evil man. He was gassing people to death and all that shit. But he had huge plans to get off the American dollar. And we know that the American dollar is a #1 priority to the Americans. Because, bro, even recently Donald Trump said, if BRICS, BRICS, BRICS loses their way, or wins their way, and they eventually get off the American dollar, Donald Trump said it's like losing a war. It's like losing a war. right? So they were very against Gaddafi, and you have to pay attention clearly to the news and say, okay, you know what? These dudes out here, they really, 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 really want to force their way and their ideologies and their thinking, whatever it was, and their lifestyle onto other people in the world. And this is why I don't approve of America being a superpower. I don't approve of China being a superpower. I don't approve of any country in the world being a superpower and having their way with other people. We've seen many declassified documents talking about CIA coups in like Colombia, Cuba, I think Montenegro, whatever it was, all these other countries in the world. And it's like, bro, why do I have to trust America? Why do I have to trust these countries, bro? And here's the thing, bro. It's like you have to be an active listener, and you have to take discernment upon yourself to really say, you know what? If I'm complacent, if I just say, you know what, I'm gonna play video games all day, I'm gonna gamble all day, I'm gonna jerk off all day, I'm gonna waste my life all day, I'm gonna lose a nation. I might lose a whole nation in front of me, right? And the recklessness of the Americans has shaped the world today. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I love the technology, but the way that the world is moving, I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all. You have, I think it was like, I think I seen a statistic. It's like the top like 20 people of American wealth, or not even American wealth, like global wealth, have more money than 4 billion people in the world. Top 20 people in the world have more money than 4 billion people in the world. Of course, there's a lot of poor people, but it's like, bro, this is reckless. This is fucking reckless. And it's because a lot of these people are complacent. They go on TikTok live, they go on streaming, whatever it was, and they don't talk about politics. They don't talk about nothing. They just shake their ass on TikTok, and they make a few bucks, and they say, "Hey, I'm happy. I'm good to go." You know what I mean? When you're a primitive human being, you're not gonna get far in life, bro. And you have to really challenge yourself. When you go to school, you gotta say, you know what? I'm gonna be best in my class. I'm gonna put the nation on my back. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put Canada on my back. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have that motivation in high and university, though, I'm not gonna lie. And luckily, in university, I had a $20,000 scholarship. I lost it in my third year because I switched programs, and then my grades were not great. But it's like, I don't know, like, what's the purpose? What's the purpose of you trying hard when you have a whole bunch of people in the world? That's what I was thinking. I don't need to be great. I don't need to be super successful. I don't need to do this. But that's the wrong mentality. That's the wrong mentality. And during that time, I'm not gonna lie, I really wanted to be a pro gamer. I wanted to be a League of Legends pro gamer. It didn't work out for me. It didn't work out for me. But I'm glad I was smart enough to pass university, get my degree, degree in economics, and I'm happy. I'm happy with my life right now. You know what I'm saying? But it's just mediocrity across the board, bro. And you have to really ask yourself, it's like, you know what? If I don't start trying, who in my family's gonna try? Who's gonna cement our family legacy into the world? Who's gonna say, you know what? My last name is the greatest last name on earth. And you start thinking about shit, and it's like, you know what? Maybe I take that throne. Maybe I take that step. Maybe I start doing that shit.
Suddenly they're now pouring into, just like he said was going.
The mentality of many of these people in these poor countries has to change, is what I'm trying to tell you. And we have a little bit worse in first world countries because we have so much distractions. But these third world countries have even more distractions. Their motivation is like gutted to the ground.
To happen, that they're now pouring into the European continent, and Europeans are complaining, who are these people? And so the question is, are we allowing, because I'm like, Africa's a pretty rich country. Like, why aren't Africans controlling the diamond trade? Who's taking all of the diamonds so that they can't control the diamond trade? And how long have these people been doing that, being essentially culture vultures? That's kind of the journey that I've been on now, in terms of really trying to go back and look into history to see what's happened. And I never trust myself when I have a perspective now, because I realize how much of my opinions and beliefs were shaped by the public school system. And so I don't think you're right. I think that there has been a very sophisticated effort to, just like you would say now, in terms of people that are intentionally attacking Anglo-Saxons. I'm just learning about that there were these books that were written to, we must genocide the Anglo-Saxons, that were going on for a lot longer than I realized. history didn't begin with World War II, but I think it would take a lot of time to kind of unpack that.
Yeah.
Like, are we stopping people from getting ahead just because, I don't know.
That just sounds, I mean, being honest with you, that just sounds to me like a left-wing argument when they say, why don't these countries get ahead? Colonialism. You're a colonizer. It's like, okay, but when we got there, they had no development. When we got to Africa, they had no technological development.
So you
no
think
recorded
that
history.
even if we weren't at war, and sure, you could say that.
And you know, this is the thing too, bro. Like, you look at like the levels of happiness, and they did studies on this, right? And a lot of people in Africa are more happy. A lot of these poor countries, people are more happier. But that is not the goal in life, to be happier. Because of your complacency and like you settle for mediocrity and you settle for a tier level of happiness where you're like you're more on the optimistic side of life. You let other countries, you let other governments, other shadow governments take control, and they have more political say in your countries. They have more leverage in your countries, and it's like, yo, these people are having their way with you and your countries. They're having their way with you. And you settle for mediocrity, you settle for dancing on TikTok, you settle for this, you settle for that. You gotta be great in life, bro. You gotta be fucking great. It's ridiculous out here, man.
You think that's a leftist argument. I would only push back on that because I've learned so much about just like recent history that I didn't know. But you think that the Middle East, like if we had done nothing in terms of the Middle East, that they would just be savages and just be like, America didn't do anything it doesn't set anything backwards, and you're just like bombing a place.
Yeah, kind of. I think that we did set them back because when they don't have political order, it prevents development and investment and things like that. But, again, when you look at the antecedents of all these, the history didn't start, like you said, with World War II in the 20th century. There's a reason that European civilization created this enormous gap between them and everybody else. And I don't think it was that it was white supremacy or it was unfair or something like that. I think it's because Europeans are smarter.
They had more motivation, bro. When you go to countries that have a climate difference where it's like they have extreme hot and extreme cold, you're forced to adapt. You're forced to build. You're forced to change up what's going on. In places like Africa, where they have consistent, just hot days every fucking day, they're not forced to adapt. They're not forced to use their mind to change things. They're not forced to come up with inventions. They're not forced to innovate. Weather is a great thing. Seasons are a great thing. All this stuff is a great things, but it's like, bro, I don't know if I would say that the Europeans are technically smarter. Technically, in civilization today, they are smarter today. I'm not gonna lie, but it's like they don't the Africans don't have motivation to be great. They have a lot of fraud, a lot of terrorism, a lot of bullshit going on. Recently, right? It's like Akon tried having a city, and he tried having like a $6 billion city in Senegal, and it flopped. Right? Look at this. Akon's $6 billion futuristic Wakanda megacity in Senegal, Africa has purportedly been abandoned. They have no leadership. They have no leadership for this shit, bro. It's ridiculous out here. So it is what it is.
So you don't think that there's group differences?
It's a pretty good video.
Was working on behalf of Intel Service and not acceptable. And I think the real answer is Jeffrey Epstein was working on behalf of Intel Services, probably not American. And we have every right to ask, on whose behalf was he working? How does a guy go from being a math teacher at the Dalton School in the late 70s with no college degree to having multiple airplanes, a private island, and the largest residential house in Manhattan? Where did all the money come from? And no one has ever gotten to the bottom of that because no one has ever tried. And moreover, it's extremely obvious to anyone who watches that this guy had direct connections to a foreign government. Now, no one's allowed to say that that foreign government is Israel because we have been somehow cowed into thinking that that's naughty. There is nothing wrong with saying that. There is nothing hateful about saying that. There's nothing anti-Semitic about saying. There's nothing even anti-Israel about saying that. I've spent my entire life pretty much in Washington, where I knew and loved a number of people, including one very close person who worked at CIA. That has never prohibited me from saying, I think the CIA has done some horrible things, murdered a bunch of people, participated in the murder of a sitting U.S. president. It's got a whole trail of crimes.
That's what I'm saying,
That doesn't
bro.
make me a disloyal American. It doesn't make me anti-American in any sense. I was born here. My family's been here for hundreds of years. I love this country. That's why I live here. So criticizing the behavior of a government agency does not make you a hater. It makes you a free person. It makes you a citizen. You're allowed to do that because you're not a slave. You're a citizen. And you have a right to expect that your government will not act against your interests, and you have a right to demand that foreign governments not be allowed to act against your interest.
You know what I personally think, bro? Like, we have like the whole APAC thing, which is like a lobbying group for Israel, whatever it was. I think personally speaking, bro, it's like the lobbying group can get away with so much, and they put these politicians in power. They have these strength. They have this power. I think personally speaking, the money that they put in should be reflected in the government, where it's like, yo, they put in like $800 million towards politicians, whatever it is. But the return that they get on investment, they get billions of dollars, tens of billions of dollars of help in the Middle East. You know what I mean? So Israel's playing it very smart. I personally think that there should be limits to this shit. And I am liking the world the way it is right now, but it's like, there's a few countries that are having problems, right? We have Palestine, we have the Middle East, we have cases in Africa. But it gets ridiculous to a certain point, bro. It's like, yo, get your hand out of my government. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's take a break. Let's take a break from Israel.
That's not creepy. It shouldn't be forbidden. And yet all of us have trained ourselves to believe that you can't say that somehow. That that's like too naughty and forbidden. And the effect of making that off limits has been to create a lot of resentment, and I'll say it, hate online, where people feel like they can't just say, like, what the hell is this? You have the former Israeli prime minister living in your house. You have had all this contact with the foreign government. Were you working on behalf of Mossad? Were you running a blackmail operation on behalf of foreign government? By the way, every single person in Washington, D.C. thinks that. I've never met anyone who doesn't think that. I don't know any of them that hate Israel, but no one feels they can say that. Why? And I think the longer that we play along with it, the more subterranean and creepy and hateful the conversation actually becomes. So I think it's better just to say it right out loud. Did this happen? And of course, that question has been asked to the government of Israel, and their answer is, we're not going to tell you. And I think our answer should be, no. As long as we're sending you money, if you were committing crimes on our soil, we have an absolute right to know, did you do this or not? And yet everybody has been so brainwashed into thinking that's somehow an expression of hate or bigotry, when it's not. It's a baseline question that every U.S. citizen has a right to an answer on. What the hell was this?
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, if it turns out that it was nothing.
It's a very good fucking video. Very good video.
Not acceptable.
You know, it's such a one-sided. I just fundamentally disagree. I think that, you know, it's such a one-sided. It's unfortunate, but it's so one-sided. Just a chronic lack of development and persistent underclass status and lack of contributions to mankind. I mean, certainly in the arts and in athletics, but no inventions, no philosophers, no true great masterpieces, anything like that, in terms of fine art, really. And then you have the whole planet is like this, you know? I mean, if half of Africa was super developed or halfway developed and the other half wasn't, maybe you'd have an argument, but it's whether they're socialist or capitalist, whether they got colonized or not, whether they got freed from slavery in 1800 or in 1860, or it's the same story everywhere. There's not one written language among them. You know, you talk about he who controls the printing press. They don't have books. They don't have words to put in the books. And I think that, you know, it's a sad fact of the world, but it's something we have to deal with. And to me, that's the only conclusion that satisfies. And don't get me wrong, I get where you're coming from. I'm not, I'll give you an example. My family lived in Chicago for 4 or 5 generations. And my parents and my grandmother, they had a security firm in the city. They taught cops and security guards how to shoot their guns and gave them licenses and things like that. And almost all their clientele were black. And when I was growing up, this was impressed upon me at an early age. They always said the older generations in Chicago, when my grandmother was growing up in the projects, when my parents were running this business in the 80s and 90s, they said they were the most polite, the most pious, the most considerate. Right. Some of them couldn't read, though. They would come in and not be able to read, but they were less dysfunctional than my family. My grandmother, her mother had mental illness, and she would look outside the window in the projects and see a black family across the way, and they were sitting around the table holding hands saying grace, and it was an intact family. So I completely agree with you. So, obviously, there's a cultural destruction. Obviously, there's a cultural decline. But I think that was constant, even though the older generation was more genteel. I think that, honestly, that came from oppression. That came from a society where they were the minority. There was racism. There was abuse. There was segregation. And I think that made black people meek. And if you look, the out-of-wedlock birth rate started to blow up, not after Great Society in the late 60s, but in the 50s during the Civil Rights era. And I think that was sort of a regression to the mean moment. And, again, I think that it's not that black people can't be good people. There aren't smart black people, or there aren't, incredible black people. I'm sitting across from one right now, or yay, and everything like that. But on the whole, on average, and there's billions of black people, they do have that lower level of development, and I think that's why they underperform. And
acceptable. And I think the real answer is...
Damn. What an interesting podcast. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell reportedly considers resigning. Bunch of hubbub. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know why the U.S. interest rate is so high right now. It's ridiculous, bro. The stock market's at all-time highs. But if Federal Powell resigns, I'm not saying to get calls on SPY, but that's just gonna fucking boom, bro. That's just gonna fucking boom. What? I don't believe that. El Chapo's son flips in Chicago. Ovidio Guzman just pled guilty to running the family drug empire, fentanyl, cocaine, murder, all of it. He moved tons across the border and laundered the cash through crypto and couriers. Now he's giving up $80 million and bracing for sentencing. Feds say this is the beginning of the end for Chapitos, with 3 brothers still out there and paranoia setting in. Sunset of the Sinaloa cartel, they're calling it. The message, no one's untouchable. Well, damn. This is a nightmare scenario for many girls in Europe today. Nobody should have to live or tolerate this. Imagine what happened if nobody was around and the fuck had backup.
Not like this. Not like this. I actually you can't. Come on.
Don't touch me, hey.
Okay, hey, say me.
What the fuck?
Come on.
Are you fucking crazy or what?
No crazy.
I said you don't touch me.
No crazy. ايوه وقفوا معي يا صاحبي رح تديك. لا مش صوفيا.
Go. Go.
No.
Go out. I want problem? I want fucking problem?
What? No, he doesn't. What? No problem. I'm sorry. Wallah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, these guys say wallah, I'm sorry after they get caught. It's disgusting behavior and disgusting rhetoric, bro. Ridiculousness. I need you in my car. That's what the guy was saying. I need you in my car. Disgusting behavior, bro. Ethan Klein was successfully sued by Ryan Kavanaugh for defamation. Today, Ethan was forced to read a humiliating statement, apologizing for defamation, using his fan base for harassment. Ethan has defamed many pro-Palestinians. They can sue him and force an apology.
So here's my apology to Ryan Kavanaugh. I read to you now. To Ryan Kavanaugh, I want to offer my sincere and unreserved apology. At the time, I was led to believe you were behind a particular copyright lawsuit. Acting on that belief, I went on and attacked you publicly and persistently. In doing so, I failed to consider the personal impact of my actions, and I lost sight of the basic respect every person deserves, regardless of any dispute. That hit its home, you know? I also understand that as a result, your Wikipedia page has been significantly altered to reflect you in a negative light, and I apologize for any involvement I had in that. I apologize for ever making statements that led anyone to believe you were involved in unethical or bad business dealings. And I now know that any of those things I may have spread were not true. I deeply regret ever elevating or emphasizing that false narrative, and it was wrong of me. And I apologize. Because of the attention
You know what's crazy? This dude has so many lawsuits going on right now, with like copyright lawsuits against Hassan Abis Orbiters, whatever it's called, Frogan and like Caseytron and whoever else. He lost a lawsuit, which is pretty fucking crazy to me.
Placed on you, I know that you and your family became the target of harassment and hate, and truly none of them deserved any of that. The hurt that was caused by my actions is something I take full responsibility for, and I am truly sorry for that. I also understand the harm that the negative social media and Wikipedia edits have placed on you and your business. And again, I apologize for my involvement I had in that. And I hope that any such issues can be retracted, right? And that you do not have to endure any further issues as a result of those actions. Truly. We have since come to peace, and I'm thankful for the opportunity to move forward. With this apology and with full respect, I ask that anybody who may have been acting on my behalf directly or indirectly stop immediately. Ryan and his family and his associates should be left alone now for good.
Let's read the comments on this. Okay, never mind. Who would have thought that electing a rapist would have complicated the release of the Epstein files? Wow. Wow. I gotta tag Asmongold on this one, bro. I gotta tag Asmongold on this one. This is fucking insane to me. I'm not even sure this could be allowed for defamation. This is fucking insane to me, bro. Holy fuck. I don't even know what to say on this. Yeah, she's probably gonna get sued. Like, this is pretty fucking bad. The fuck is this? Bonjour. I don't know anything about that. Okay. We're about 1 hour and 30 minutes into our stream. It's looking pretty fucking good. Twitter is where the content's at. Pegasus throws Hammer back after Tecton called him Ozempic Mudahar. No way Humpty Dumpty final evolution of a hard-boiled egg. Bros Barber is wanted in 17 countries. Final boss.
Ozempic go. Ozempic Mudahar goes crazy, bro.
Bro, there's no way Humpty Dumpty looking ass is talking Dr. Robotnik looking ass, Execute looking ass. Bro looks like the final evolution of a hard-boiled egg. Bro's a nutritious breakfast with 13 essential vitamins. Bro is Mr. Clean if he was a streamer. Bro's barber is wanted in 17 countries. Bro's head is the 8th Dragon Ball. Bro's literally a One Piece arc. You can't make this shit up. Bro's the before picture of a hair loss ad. He's like the final boss of a hairline side quest. There's just no way this guy's talking. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. My muscle up journey on Instagram. We had a 30-pound weighted pull up the other day. Maybe one day I can finally lift Froggen. The ultimate goal of every gym bro. Oh wait, that was actually nice. Oh shit. Well, I take it all back, guys. W Tectone. We all love Tectone in this house. Yeah.
My bad. Sorry, it was like a roast reflex. You know, it just kind of activates when somebody goes after me on the internet. You know, come on, I've been on the internet for a couple of years. You gotta develop some. Okay, my bad. I'm sorry, Tectone, if you're watching this. I know you are. You owe me like $100,000. By the way, how many videos have you reacted to me? Holy shit! I appreciate the support. Anyways,
Mod. 37-year-old, 6 kids, old Navy t-shirt, not a millionaire. Unlike Mika, compensate does not get better than this. I'm not for having kids, bro. I don't like it. This guy really put the full 2-hour podcast on this shit. Fuck it.
Me included. So I wanted to invite you onto the podcast because a lot of your videos have been going viral. Obviously, it will not surprise you to learn that according to the media, you might be the most evil person in the world.
They say that about me, yes. That's my reputation.
Definitely anti-Semitic, racist, misogynist. There have been real fears of people speaking about your Groyper movement. So I did something before this interview is I went back into my phone and wrote Nick Fuentes. I wanted to try to remember the first time that I actually heard your name. And it was in 2019, a text message that somebody had shared with me that Ashley St. Clair had been kind of fired from Turning Point USA. And this person was speaking about Ashley St. Clair and had mentioned that she got in trouble a while back or whenever it happened because she took a photo with you and that you were this big anti-Semite. And then later that year, I had a conversation about the Groypers. It was something that I had never seen before, who were showing up on college campuses and asking questions about conservatism to various speakers, whether it was Rob Smith, Dave Rubin, and asking, hey, if we're conservatives, why are we promoting gay people?
Right.
You're the person that is the face of that movement. So
Yes.
can you just tell me, I guess, a little bit about Nick Fuentes before the Groyper movement?
Sure. Well, yeah, that was my big claim to fame. That was kind of when I came on the map in 2019. But before that, I was at RSBN, Right Side Broadcasting Network. I was a freshman in college. I was 18 years old.
Why the fuck is she giving a platform to someone that has such bad, like, achievements? Anti-Semite, racist, misogynist. This is fucking insane to me, bro. I know a little bit about Nick Fuentes, he does crypto and stuff, but this is fucking insane to me.
I was at Boston University, and I was a big pro-Trump guy, you know, and I was very into politics, extremely political. But like a lot of people, I was pretty mainstream. You know, I was very pro-Israel, libertarian, big PragerU viewer, Ben Shapiro fan, all that kind of stuff. But of course, in 2016, everything changed. You know, he had the rise of the alternative right. And so it's guys like Jordan Peterson and Stefan Molyneux and Richard Spencer and Jared Taylor. And of course, Trump being the king of them all. So in 2016, everything changed. I became very racialist, very pro-white, very critical of Israel, very aware of the Jewish phenomenon that's happening in the country. And so I went to the college campus. I was freshman, 18, and I did a big debate with the student body president at the school. And it was kind of weird how it came together. I was pretty vocal on Twitter, didn't have a big following, maybe 200 followers, but I was wearing a MAGA hat everywhere I went. Cafeteria, to class, down the street. And I became known on the campus as that guy wearing the MAGA hat. And I would go on Twitter and I'd talk about my experience. You know, people are picking on me. People are saying they were going to beat me up. People are threatening me, stuff like that. And I said, I was defiant. You know, I was very pro-Trump in spite of all that. And so I got a lot of flack from the liberals on the campus, the Democrats, and one of these groups, Young Americans for Liberty, they came in and contacted me and said, would you want to set up a debate on the campus with one of your detractors, one of the people that's threatening you, trying to fight you? And I said, yeah, I'd love to do that. You know, I had been a broadcaster in high school, so I said, yeah, let's set something up. And so they put out like an open casting call. They contacted a bunch of the people that had been talking trash about me, and they said they'd like to set up this debate. And they found the student body president. He was like a senior, and he was like some Democrat socialist or something, and I didn't even know the guy. But they set up this live event, and like 300 students came to it. It was like a big deal. And actually, someone you know, Cassie Dillon, who's now known as Cassie Akiva. At that time, she was a fellow at Daily Wire. She was like, I guess she was working there temporarily. They had taken her to Israel. She had been there a few times, and she was studying at Mount Holyoke in Western Massachusetts. And she was involved with some of the campus groups, so she went to the event. And she live streamed it on Periscope at that time. And I didn't even know her. I had heard about her. I had seen her on Twitter. And when the debate finished, she came up to me and she said, "Oh my gosh, I just streamed that. You had 30,000 people watching." She goes, "Ben Shapiro watched it. Milo Yiannopoulos watched it." She said, "And you've got a bunch of different job offers." And we do a little post-game interview. She's asking me questions. And the last question she asked me, which is like the big setup for my whole life, she said, "I just got back from Israel." She said, "Would you ever take a trip to Israel? Because I think you'd love it," and so on. And, I sort of knew what was happening with Israel, but not 100%. And I said, "Yeah." And I said, "It sounds interesting, but I think I have everything I need right here in America." And she goes, "Oh, okay." She wraps up the interview and she gives me her card. We exchange information. I get involved with her. She was involved with RSBN. And if you know, that's Right Side Broadcasting Network. They did all the Trump rallies during the election. And when the election ended, they said they were going to start up a bunch of original programming. They had Mike Cernovich, Bill Mitchell, a bunch of these guys that were on Twitter. And she had a show. It was called Raised Right. And so she contacted Joe Seals, who's at RSBN, and she said, "I saw this guy give the speech. He's really great. He debated this guy on campus. We should give this guy a show." And so I got in touch with them. We got to talking. This was around the end of 2016, beginning of 2017. They said, "What do you want to call your show?" I said, "Well, let's call it the Nicholas J. Fuentes Show." They said, "That's too long. Nobody knows who you are. We don't want that."
This is fucking insane to me that this girl gave this guy a platform like this to talk shit, and then this other dude uploaded this entire broadcast to Twitter for engagement and farming and shit, and he's also on Kick. And he has a fucking stake gambling code. This is fucking insane to me, bro. This is fucking insane to me. This dude is not allowed to have bank accounts in America or something like that because of his takes. He's a radicalist. This is fucking insane to me, bro. Fucking insane. I'm not sure if I want to even watch the rest of that interview, bro. I'm not sure, bro. It's been 1 hour and 37 minutes, bro. I think I'm gonna take a break. Short stream right now. Hit the follow button if you've been watching. I think I'm gonna take a break, probably go eat breakfast, and then I'll probably come back for another stream later on in the day. So the other stream will probably have a bit of Counter-Strike, a bit of League of Legends, more gaming, and less political stuff, less Twitter. Thank you for watching. Shout out to Gaza435 for my first follow on Kick, and I appreciate all you guys. Thank you for watching.